Hi everyone, thanks again for joining me here today in this very interesting topic about cults and how they are connected to narcissism and narcissistic leaders and pastors. So this is a very interesting topic, and I did an intensive amount of research as I had found myself in a cult several years ago, and I found some very interesting similarities with other people that were in cults and how they got into it, and also a characteristic of the leaders of cults and what they have in common with narcissistic traits and behaviors. So I'm just going to go through, I jotted down a few notes here, so I'm going to stick to this here. And one of the main things that came up was most of these cults are led by a very charismatic person. So they tend to really do well with getting the crowd excited and motivated and luring people in, basically. So it feels like, wow, you found family, you found a home, like a place where you belong. And unfortunately, this is very common for people who have come from some kind of trauma or perhaps a dysfunctional family system or toxic family system. It's very easy to fall into a cult because they're longing for a place where they feel like they belong and a place where they are accepted. And these cults take people in like that very quickly and very easily. And they do this through narcissistic love bombing. So it operates exactly the same as an intimate relationship would with a narcissist. You end up getting love bombed and treated like, yeah, you're one of us and it's us against them. So you start to join a group of people which is led by one person, is one individual that everybody else worships. So they're not worshiping, say, if it's the Bible or Jesus or something like that. They end up more than anything worshiping this leader who ends up being this person that everyone has to please and obey and listen to no matter what they say. The problem with this is it really creates a very insular environment. So in that process, you become brainwashed and mind controlled really to start thinking like everybody else in the group. Now, they don't want you to talk to other people outside of that group because they're the outsiders and they are seen as the enemy. So it's very common to have people in cults be separated from their family and actually be told to not communicate with family members or a partner or somebody that isn't in the cult. And that creates obviously huge division and also full control over you and your mind, the person that's in there, so that they can't see anything other than what everybody in the group and in this cult believes. That is the real danger, is it's basically everyone just starts thinking the same and you start feeling like you're the odd one out if you start questioning or thinking, maybe something's not quite right here, and you start feeling like, you'd like to communicate with people on the outside, say, and get their opinion, but you're going to be highly discouraged from doing that. So those are a few of the clues that you might be in a cult. Another one is simply just controlling what you wear and how you look, say having certain colors that everybody wears or certain uniform, or you're not allowed to wear this or you're not allowed to wear that. So basically controlling any aspect of your life, your behavior, your dress, the people you date or end up marrying, that kind of stuff is not okay and very cult-like. There tends to be, oh yeah, this is a great one. So this cult person, the cult leader, is the only one that has connection to God. So if they believe in something higher than themselves, then it would be God that they'll be speaking of, but they're the only ones that have that connection. So you are beneath them and you have to listen to them because only they have the connection. Nobody else has that because this cult leader is special and unique and they have this special, assignment with God that only they have. So it's more like a monarchy where they're the king and you're the subjects and you just have to listen to whatever the king says. Very culty, not very healthy. So there will be a lot of abuse. It's just like any relationship with a narcissist. You will be abused. You will be talked down to. You will be demeaned, belittled, criticized, basically, for doing anything on your own. Maybe you don't attend a function that the cult or the group is having, and you end up doing something else. You will be berated for it. You may be even made fun of or, asked, probed about, like, where were you or why weren't you there? Kind of very intrusive questions and trying to really control and monopolize your time because they are scared that you will leave and that you will find a life outside of there and then perhaps not be fully loyal and just a part of the group anymore. So that's the mind control and manipulation. And what's interesting is it's not always obvious right away. It starts happening over time. It kind of slowly but surely, they start to indoctrinate you there. You start to have friends there, and then before you know it, you only have friends there. You're not talking to anybody else, and you're not really doing anything outside of there unless it's for work or, like your livelihood. And even that, you'll notice that all your money will be dedicated, again, to this group. Money, materialistic things, they will end up talking a lot about it and wanting your material possessions and money. Even though they pretend not to be interested in it, you'll notice it brought up a lot. That is a major red flag, and nobody should be taking money from you. If you willingly tithe and give, of course, that's your choice, and that's a great way to support an organization, but there should never be pressure to do so or any kind of even request or asking for a specific amount of money. That's not okay. So the us versus them is a real problem. So you end up being in this group of people where it's us against everybody else, and everybody else is on the outside and they just don't know what they're doing, but we as the group, we know what we're doing. So we're the ones with the answer. And that us versus them mentality is very dangerous and, of course, very difficult to leave. So that's another thing, is if you are starting to have doubts and you're feeling maybe this isn't right for me, and you express any of those doubts, look out. You will be put down and you will be put in your place. You may be contacted by every single member or many members of the inner circle, because there always is an inner circle or hierarchy in the cult as well. That's another thing you'll notice. So there's kind of the core group of people that surround the cult leader, and they all do his work for him basically, and he just says, do this, do that, and they obey. And so during that process, if somebody, like I said, tries to leave, they will be bombarded by everybody, like asking, why are you going, don't go, and just questioned, and again, kind of pulled back and sucked into the cult because they really don't want you to leave. Now, if you do manage to leave, rest assured you will be talked about and you will be completely bashed and trashed for leaving, and everybody within the cult will hear about it. So that is very common as well. So if you want to know, say, how to actually leave successfully, in my experience, the best way is to just leave, actually walk away. Don't even tell anybody, just disappear and drop complete contact with the group. Otherwise, you're going to get constantly pestered and basically called back to be questioned and asked, why are you leaving? And so again, that's obviously not very healthy. It's not supportive in any way of your growth and what somebody needs if they're looking for a spiritual group or even just a group of people to grow and learn with. And that is part of cult behavior. They will use shame to make the members feel less than. So when you're there and you're listening to the sermons or the things that the cult leader is preaching, he will use a lot of shame, like you're just not a good enough person. And that keeps you small and kind of beneath him or her. And that's another way that they keep you kind of feeling like you're never going to measure up. And that's why you have to listen to them, because they're the all-knowing, they are the only ones with that special connection to God. So those are a few things on my list here. Another common thing, unfortunately, there is a connection between people that have had some trauma in the past, or childhood trauma, or, like I said, a toxic family system, or have come from an abusive or possibly neglectful family. It's very common for that type of person to fall into a cult because they are looking for that family that they never had. So be aware of that and watch out for that. If that happens to be you, or you know somebody in that situation, that's unfortunately very common. And again, the best thing to do is, of course, seek therapy, seek help to heal the trauma, and to really figure out where that wound is and how to go about healing that on a one-to-one basis and through counseling, and then to find and be able to discover groups that are more healthy and that will really support and help, spiritual growth or a group and whatever you're seeking to be a part of.
If you can read a damn book, what the hell you need a nigga to tell you some shit for? Because we lazy. We lazy. And we want to follow some damn body. I wouldn't follow nobody to the fucking bathroom. But we are addicted to this thing. And you follow these niggas for 10, 20 years and you look up and you find out they ain't shit, but you can't get out because you're all socialized in it. You done put up all your money. You done talk shit to all your friends on how they fucked up. And they little shit they doing ain't no good. And so you can't get out now. So you stay on and on and on with all these old bullshit ass leaders. I don't follow nobody. If I don't follow the white man, you know I ain't gonna follow his invention. A nigger was a bad invention. Niggers and flies. One spread filth and one spread lies. The more I hang around niggers, the more I like flies. Y'all crazy as hell following somebody.
What needs to be said without having to be censored, it is always appreciative that, people can show you support, both monetarily and in the physical sense. So, we always tell people, go to the website, donate whatever you can. $5, $10, a dollar, any dollar helps, and we appreciate it because it lets us know that somebody out there is gaining something from what we're doing with this time. Because we could, Sabri travels all the time, and I could definitely be finding something else to fill this little time with, but we appreciate it and we do it, for the people, because a lot of people are looking for information and they don't know where to turn. So we try to provide a vehicle for you to get in so you can go down that road and not feel like you're alone. Because a lot of people don't embrace it because they feel like they're alone. Well, shit, ain't nobody else thinking like me. Man, let me get with what everybody else is doing. I don't want to be the only dummy in the dark. Let me follow this light. It might not be the right light, but hey, at least it's a light. At least I ain't in the dark by myself.
Right.
You got to be brave.
But you know what? He's right.